Hey everybody, welcome. I hope you had an amazing holiday and you're enjoying this kind of like limbo week of just whatever you want it to be. I know some people really like to get a lot done during this week. Some people like to become one with their couch. There's no right or wrong way to do this in between week, but we wanted to take this time where a lot of people are maybe off their normal schedule or off work and get to learn a little bit more about Hugh and Grace and meet Sara Jensen, our co-CEO, and Amanda Lorenz, who's our VP of Ops, and just learn about what it means to be involved in Hugh and Grace, to partner as an advocate, to become a customer if you're curious about the affiliate opportunity or whatever. But like rewind for a second. As we were all kind of getting started, we did a couple of these calls with Sara and Amanda and to kind of get the ball rolling. And now that we're a couple months in, and we've got a lot of new faces on the team and a lot of new interest, and the new year, it's the perfect time to just start new chapters, right? And to start, we've got a lot of amazing stuff in the pipeline for the company. We've got a lot of great stuff for January. We're talking a lot about, the routine and the hormone masterclass and a lot of things that maybe brought you here today. I know everyone here on the call is coming from a different part of the country and was invited by someone different on our team. And so on behalf of everyone, we're just so glad that you're here. And the goal tonight is to learn about the inception and evolution and vision creation of Hugh and Grace, and what you would be partnering with if you decided to link arms with us. We're so excited for that possibility and that prospect, but I know it's a really there's a lot to it. And there might be a lot of questions swirling in your brain, and I'm sure we'll get to those and answer those. And there will probably be a lot that you didn't even know you were curious about. But the hope and the goal for all of us, for you, is that you just light the fire, because that's kind of how we all felt after we first met Sara and Amanda and learned about this company. And we're so excited about this mission. So I am going to stop talking and pass the mic over to Sara so she can tell you all about it. But please do use the chat for questions. And if we have time, we'll make sure we get to those. And then after Sara talks, we're going to pop over to Amanda, who helped create the compensation plan, who create, Hugh and Grace with Sara and Ben, before it was just when it was in its infancy. And so she's going to talk a little bit more about the business, the earnings income possibility component as well. So anyway, Sara, thank you for taking time to come chat with us. And I'm just so excited for everyone to meet you.
Yes, well, thank you for having us. I'm going to speak for Amanda also right now. My husband and I had never had a direct sale, been in direct sales. And this really is the coolest part, was actually building a company with people. And Amanda actually joined our company before we even had products. So she's like, okay, I'm in. And she had a very, she can tell her professional background, but she had a prestigious job. She had another job offer to make more money than she was going to make at Hugh and Grace, but she joined us because of a lot of things. But I'm just the real belief in the mission. And I think sometimes we'll talk, I'll start by just telling you my professional background, but also our personal background, really the genesis of Hugh and Grace. My professional background, my husband and I were co-founders, co-CEOs, co-parents. And I think, if you're thinking about joining or exploring a new company, just the kind of business background we have, because what we're creating is really something special and has a lot of vision and heart and meaning, but also, want to make sure that we're good business operators. My husband, he started his career in investment banking. He went into commercial real estate. We both have master's degrees. He has an MBA and a master of real estate development from USC. I have an MBA from USC. And then he did a leadership rotation program with GE Capital, which was really a prestigious program at the time. And then he ran a multi-billion-dollar family office in Beverly Hills. And there he oversaw global investments, but he also was dropped in to operate several businesses with hundreds of employees the company was not doing well. So really helped get in, operate. My professional background, I've always been more of a social entrepreneur. I've worked at various nonprofits. And then after getting my MBA, I was recruited to come back and work for USC for the business school, developing relationships with our top alumni and parents across the country, raising transformative gifts. And so I say that just that I haven't operated a business before, but my husband has several, and it's just and I think the magnitude of what we're really working hard to create. Our personal story and background, the reason we started the company is we struggled, we've been married for almost 22 years, and we struggled for 14 years with unexplained infertility. So I think outside looking in, we had, I don't know, some glamorous lives. My husband was flying private, we had all the dinners, and I was working for USC and out, all the football games and tailgate events. And so I think outside looking in, it looked like a very exciting life. But for 14 of those years, it was just doctor's appointments and failure and heartbreak, a lot of doubts and insecurities, and not being able to have, we're both from young, we both come from large families. We both got married relatively young. I was 23, he was 25, 26. And it was really that struggle of saying, why can we not have the kids, and being diagnosed unexplained. And so we were fortunate to be able to afford multiple fertility treatments. But we started doing a lot of research, saying, what is in the environment? What are we surrounding ourselves that's causing us to not be able to get pregnant? I was an ultra marathoner. I was, eating right. I was doing acupuncture. I hate needles. The doctor told me the running chicken doesn't lay the eggs, so I stopped running. But we just started researching what's in our environment, and we learned about, they're called hormone disrupting chemicals. So chemicals that are in a lot of products we use that can impact your hormones. We learned about that topic, which is the genesis of Hugh and Grace. But the most amazing part of our story is, after 10 years of us trying, my husband's sister volunteered to be our surrogate, and she gave birth to our son, Hugh. And then when Hugh was almost 1, my sister called and volunteered to try to give Hugh a sibling. So she gave birth to our daughter. So we have Hugh and Grace. They're 6 and 4, absolutely incredible. And when we finally had our kids, I looked at Ben and said, we worked so long and so hard to have our kids, and now you want to be with them. And so, and Ben was working till 2, 3 a.m. multiple nights a week. I was on the road almost every single week. We said we were given so much, and what can we do? I just felt this huge responsibility as a woman. I felt like it was I was supposed to carry the baby, and to have other people go sacrifice so much to help us have our kids. And then we learned about the topic of hormone disruption. And when we were learning about hormones and hormone health and hormone disruption, we were just thinking it through our sole focus of fertility, because that's all we focused on for 14 years. But taking a step back and just really diving into the research. These chemicals, they are linked to infertility, but they're also linked to autoimmune diseases, to obesity, anxiety, depression, cancers. The list goes on and on and on. And then even taking a further step back and saying, okay, hormone health. Why is hormone health so important? And some of the benefits of hormone health. Benefits of hormone health are to have reduced anxiety, better sleep, better clear skin, mental clarity, and just things that people want on an everyday basis. I think people, the conversation is really starting to change. But before, a few years ago, even, people would think of hormones and they would think of fertility or menopause. And now the conversation is much more broad. My husband and I just spoke at Forbes International Business Conference about the topic of hormone health. And so we finally have our kids. I said, Ben, your job is you make billionaires wealthier. And my job, I make a wealthy university wealthier. We know so much about a topic that impacted us in such a real way. And I said, we have this most amazing network. And my job, I've always asked for favors. I was the one who'd fly out and take someone a dinner and ask them for $1 million or $10 million or $50 million over dinner. And I said, we have these people in our lives. And we had world-renowned doctors who were supporting us. And we said, what can we do to create a solution? What does that even look like? And so one of the fastest ways people can reduce their chemical exposure is through skincare, but also lifestyle. But we launched our Hugh and Grace 2.5 years ago with our skincare line. Because what you put on your body gets in your body. I wasn't fully realizing during all my rounds of IVF that I would rub a hormone cream on my leg, get my blood levels tested the next day, and they had spiked. And so we launched with skincare, but then we said, okay, hormone health. What does that mean? There's products that you surround yourself with on a daily basis. The average woman is exposed to up to 160 to 600 chemicals in a day by products she puts on her body or sprays around her household. So we said, what can we do to create a lifestyle solution? So think products that go on in and around your body, because there's not one magic pill that people can take to have hormone health, but it really is the products that you use. So if you're rubbing on your skin's your largest organ. It's the products that your wellness products, what products will help reduce inflammation, will help have better energy, help reduce stress. And then also the chemicals you're spraying around your house. Some of the most toxic chemicals are under your kitchen sink. And I wasn't fully realizing that, our kids, they lick the floor, they lick the countertops. Not that we want to, but what are those chemicals that they're ingesting or that we're inhaling also as we spray? And so we said, okay, let's create lifestyle products, so that people use every day. And then we were saying, how do we go to market? And realizing that to create a solution was more than selling products on a shelf. That we said, okay, this is when we were formulating our business and our business model, it was 5+ years ago, and no one was talking about the topic of hormone health. And no one was saying, okay, well, we need to create a holistic solution. We need to create awareness. There's a whole educational component. There's community with product. If you put that together, that's really the holistic solution. And so we said, well, that's direct sales. And we had not really had an experience with direct sales. So we hired consultants. And the reason we actually even thought about direct sales was when I was in business school, my favorite Harvard business case study was on a lady named Brownie Weiss. She was the woman who invented the Tupperware party back in the 50s. And I should go back and reread the case, but I think she was the very first woman ever on the cover of a business magazine. And I remember watching the very end of the case study, we watched a black and white video of her at a conference, recognizing women on stage and seeing these ladies cry. And because they were so touched, and she had transformed so many lives back in the 50s, back in the days where women were not working outside the home or knew that they could create income or get self-development and all the things that come with this business model that are amazing. And so when we were thinking about how I joke, I went to I told Ben after the business case study, I'm like, this lady changed so many lives. This platform changed so many lives. And I was so inspired by her that I actually flew to her museum in Orlando, I guess I keep saying 10+ years ago. It's probably 15+ years ago, getting older and older now. But then we said this business model is really what we need to really create that holistic experience. Yes, just a nice. Yes, Jamie. And so we went to work and we said, okay, if direct sales is how this business model our business model should be, how do we elevate the model? And Jamie did mention, and Amanda will touch more on it, but we have different ways people can get involved. We have a retail component, we have an affiliate component, but we have our advocate component. And honestly, that has been the best part of our business model, to be able to go and to build something with people where we're not just going to Sephora and going to paying Google ads and Facebook ads, but really to share this word of mouth. And it was, I think that the most surprising thing for us, to see how personal and to see how people cheer each other on. And I don't know, that has just been one of the most rewarding parts for us. Jamie, jump in with any questions. I'm trying to think if I'm you and saying, okay, it's a relatively new company. We've been around 2.5 years, so we don't have all the bells and whistles of maybe some companies that are more established, but we do. When we were saying also, okay, so if our mission is to help promote hormone health with elevated products that improve your home, skin, and health, what does that look like? And we say, we call them simple swaps. We say, these are products you're using every day anyway, and let's make them better. And then we said also, as a business model, everything we're doing is consumable. It's gender neutral. It's someone to, That's a great question. I'm going to let Amanda answer that, because the answer is yes, but she'll explain how. But we said we want to really create a sustainable business for people. And then also we're all about progress, not perfections. We are real people. My kids eat McDonald's on occasion. We're not hall monitors. We just want to encourage people to have simple swaps that actually make their lives easier, better. And so with that, the vision of the company, my husband's operated with his commercial real estate transactions over $1 billion. He's operated multiple companies. We believe this topic really is for everyone. And it's really exciting to be kind of at the forefront of this conversation, where we're really the only company that's coming out and addressing hormone health with lifestyle products. We've been partnering. Just this holiday season, we were featured at the Four Seasons Holiday Boutique. There was a big event at the Pendry in Newport Beach. It was a great hotel with Rachel Zoe's Curator Group, where we were featured. We're a young brand, but we've been able to really have great relationships. And the Grand Wailea, which is our next incentive trip coming up in April, we're talking to them that we're going to be onboarding with them to be carried there. And so I think, and what we keep hearing is that people like that it's an authentic story. We were hosted by Glossy's Beauty and Wellness Summit last month, I believe 2 months ago, in Santa Barbara. And we had this whole conference, and at the one of the first nights, we sat down with a bunch of founders and CEOs of very large companies and smaller companies, sat down. We really talked about trends. And hormone health was one of the top of the upcoming trends for 2024. But they also said to really grow a business now, you need to have a few things. You need to have a mission, but they said most brands do have a mission. And so that's really hard to differentiate there. You need to have a real community, which we do. We have people who believe so much in the business that they are talking about it. They're sharing about it. They're sharing it. Those 2 holiday boutiques I just mentioned, I was unable to attend. We had advocates go and show up, which is absolutely incredible. But they talked about the importance of really having an authentic brand story and having a story that's real and not just, I think a lot of these companies are reaching out to us because we're not just another clean brand or not just another hormone health company, but that there really is mission and heart and passion. I was talking to Jamie in the way right when we first started about being in an RV. We told our advocates when we first launched, we had 200 advocates, and we said, you guys get 50 people in a room and we're going to show up and support you. So Ben and I were in 60 cities the next few months. Then we said, wait, we want to see our kids. So to be on the road all the time. So we got an RV. I'd never been to RV, and now it's the best thing ever. And we actually just pulled our kids out of school and found a nanny who's going to homeschool the kids. So we really can be on the road with them because our company is thriving. It's such an exciting time to be talking about this topic and talking about it in easy ways. Because when you think about your customers and your friends, like some people are really into skincare, some are into wellness, some are into home care, or these are things that everyone can use. And so we will be maybe coming to a city near you, talk to whoever invited you, but we're starting to look and get so much great momentum that we have to be several places the next several months to speak and to do events. So that's where we are. Jamie, how did I do? What I miss?
You didn't miss anything. I wanted to see if you would talk a little bit more about one of the things that that I loved the most right initially was how transparent you and the company are with formulation and testing and ingredients and sourcing and like the forward facing of just how that differentiates Hugh Grace from just another clean brand, as you said. So can you talk a little bit more about like that, the commitment to that, and also let's talk a little bit about like as like there's some like real momentum going here and some like what does that look like over the next in your mind and your hope, I guess hope and plan to be in growth mode. Like what would that look like for a new advocate? Because that's also really exciting for me and for a lot of us to know that we're like we're part of this mission to help people, but also like to go like take this company somewhere big.
Yeah, so when you talk about formulation, so Ben and I always say we are smart, we're educated people, but we're even better at surrounding ourselves with even smarter people. So we do have our world-renowned doctors on our medical advisory board. We have experts that we go to. And so when we decided this is where we need to go, I started calling on my billionaire friends, my donors from USC, saying, okay, like, introduce me. Who do you know? Who we want to talk to the formulators who create some of the top products in different product categories, because the formulators who do skincare aren't necessarily the best at the formulators who do home care. And so we were able to network and get a lot of introductions. Um, and so with that, so we use some of the premier formulators in the world who are working with us. Before we have any formulation launched, we have world-renowned doctors on our medical advisory board. I think one particularly of note I should talk about is Dr. Jenna Hua. She has she's I was introduced to her by the president of EWG. She created the very first chemical at-home exposure test. And so she actually looks and knows exactly um, what these chemicals can do to your body. And so they review all our formulations. And then we also have outside. So we have everything vetted by our world-renowned doctors. We have these expert product formulators who all their facilities have all certifications that anyone would need or hope for. And then also we have outside QA. So we have an outside expert come in and audit to make sure that the ingredients that they say they're using are what they are, and the quality of the ingredients. And then we also publish, can't remember, Amanda, if it's in the back office, it's on our site, but
The C of A's, the certificate, yeah, all of those to make sure we know where those ingredients are coming from, and you know where they're sourced and where they're coming from.
and the doctors' names, they should be on our website, correct, Amanda? Is that under
Yes.
our, yep.
All the doctors, you can find it right on the website.
Oh yeah, but that doctor is Dr. Jenna Hua. Thank you. And then the growth. So we get inbound interest almost on a daily basis, and just the amount of momentum coming around the topic of hormone health that we're addressing in an authentic way, but with a relatively easy way. We're not saying, hey, change your diet, change your exercise. Like, these are just simply swapping out products that are elevated, that people want to use, that people feel it's a luxurious experience using these products. They have great results. But being there and having that interest and be able to run with it and really go and grow, I think. Well, Jamie, you've been an advocate. I have actually never been an advocate for something like this, but well, I guess I am now, because that's I'm doing 24/7 being on the road. But we're having some interest in very, very large companies. When we were fundraising a little while ago, we get some venture capitalist groups come to us, and we decided ultimately not to work with them because that's also Ben and I. When we very first launched, we had a few top sellers from other companies reach out to us, and they said, "How do you know that this company is going to survive?" And we said, "Well, we were able to figure out how to have two genetic children without me ever getting birth. We can figure shit out." And we are just so passionate. We named the companies after our kids. The name Hugh means heart, mind, and spirit. The name Grace means goodness, generosity, and love. And sometimes, thank you, Amy, sometimes you look back at your life and it was just all of this turmoil and hardship and heartbreak. And then you look and say, wait, we were both put in these situations professionally. We have access to these networks. If we don't do it, who's going to do it? And I just had this huge, like, I couldn't sleep at night, not because my daughter had colic, which she did, but I was just feeling this huge drive to say, this impacts everyone. And this nearly broke me so many times. How can we leverage what we were given and the education we have and the network that we have? How do we really create a true solution? And we believe that solution is for everyone. And so the visions the next several years, expand globally to really grow and become the authority in this hormone health space. And we're being approached by groups where we have access to be able to do that.
I think it was today on your Instagram stories, you shared a quote that I like. My friends will all know it. They've heard me say it a million times, but once you know better, you do better. And I love that you like shared, like, this is why Hugh Grace exists. And that means just the world to me to know, like, that's the heart that you and Ben have, that Amanda has, his company has, and it's just a trickle down effect to the whole company. And that's really exciting to be a part of something that's just so good. So thank you for that. And I do want to say too, or ask you too, to talk a little bit. I know Melissa piped in that there are some pretty fun bells and whistles to be an advocate. So like the products are great, the mission is pure, like it's a really exciting time to be part of Hugh and Grace. Also, you do an amazing job, and you and I share the same love language in travel and experiences. So you do a really fun job making sure that that's part of the company culture, the advocate culture. What are some of the bells and whistles perks that it is that are attainable, are achievable, or that you've done or will do as part of being part of Human Grace?
So we love to do experiences because there's obviously professional development. We offer some great personal development. We have an incredible team. You'll hear from Amanda, but we also have Craig Collier on our team, Kelly McVeigh. They truly care about and provide access and information and amazing trainings. We have 2 trips coming up. So we have our leadership retreat in Scottsdale, the end of February, and we've had people achieve it in 2 weeks. So anybody on this call who wants to dive in and go, they can still achieve it in January. And so that's Scottsdale for leadership retreat. And then we are going to Grand Wailea in April. And there are people on this call that I love it, and who actually earned Grand Wailea trip in a month. And so for people who want to work, our motto is work hard, play hard. Yes, it is work, but you get to do it with some really amazing people and create amazing experiences. And it's really there to be able to celebrate and to have different experiences and see different parts of the world. We've had incentive trips in the past in Tulum. We've been to Cabo. One of the owner of the Minnesota Twins, he's a good friend. I actually met him through USC. He never gave $1 to USC when I was working there, but he's invested in our company 3 different times. And so he opens up his owner's suite every summer, and we do an incentive for advocates to be able to come in and go to the game in his suite with him, which is, you can't buy an experience like that. But I think, I don't know, we love to like grow and do things with people. When Ben and I were saying, like, talking about doing this, we want it's to build something with people together and to celebrate together. That's really the heart of what Ben jokes. He's like, I think you started the company so you can go on a lot of incentive trips, but it's, I don't know, it's the real, we do a lot of in-person events. I think with COVID, but I think people, it's interesting. We've never been more connected, but they've never, just, they call it the loneliness epidemic right now. We've never felt so alone. And so, yes, well, we have social media, and while we have virtual meetings and calls, a lot of people are feeling very alone. And so as a company, we try to do a lot of events. The past 2 summers, 3 summers actually, Ben and I were going around the country, going and meeting and doing events with our advocates and showing up and being there. And I really think that those connections and creating these experiences have helped us grow where we have not spent $1 in ad spend. Our growth has all been organic. It's been word of mouth. It's been people who really hear and align with the mission or story. And our story, I mean, so originally people were saying, is this a fertility company? We're like, no, but we learned about this topic through our first struggle. We've had so many people come to us, and they had an experience with cancer or depression or anxiety or an autoimmune disease, or some people just say, hey, I love the products, and I'm a simple swap, and I used to use 5-step regimen. I'm now using a 1-step regimen or 2-step regimen. People love that. But it's been those experiences, Jamie, I'm glad it's your love language, because we were just hosted at a conference in Barcelona, where I got to meet a lot of companies and a lot of hotels at places I want to start planning trips to.
I would love to go on any Barcelona scouting missions if you need someone who speaks Spanish. Just kidding. So one thing that I would, before we talk a little bit more about comp plans and different ways to enroll and the customer program that I know Amanda can really dive into, one thing that I love hearing you talk about is and you kind of touched around it, which just brought it in my mind, around kind of like the multifunction and the intentional design of a lot of the products. Like Hydrate Detox comes to mind, around like, it's not just a hydration drink. There's always like this alternate kind of dual purpose to each product. And I think it speaks a lot to kind of the overall like customer experience too.
Yeah. So I go back to the number of chemicals we put on every day. So there's a study that says the average American woman puts on 12 products a day, which is roughly 168 chemicals a day. The average man puts on over 80 chemicals a day. And we said, if we could formulate, and so much of products is just marketing. Like you really do not need like the 5 steps into every single different product. It's marketing. And so we said, if we can create products that first of all are safe, so help your hormones, don't hurt your hormones, but that take the step of many, it's such a better experience. I mean, as a busy mom and as a busy business person, I don't have the time to do the 5-step routine anymore. I don't want to have to do the full face of makeup. I don't want to have to do stuff. And so when we were saying, okay, if this can be a new topic to people, and if they feel like, oh my gosh, I have to buy 50 new things and I have to do 5 drinks a day and 4 supplements a day, that's just overwhelming for a lot of people. And so we worked with experts and said, what can we do to make this really simple? Because if it's not simple, it's not repeatable. People won't feel like they're actually going to make changes in their lives. And so we on purpose have, when we launched our wellness, when we launched originally, we only had 4 products. We said these 4 products. So it was our morning serum, our night serum, our cleansing bar, and our body oil. Like this is all you need. And we're adding, things along the way, but but with our Hydrate Detox, we worked with the formulators who've done some amazing drinks, who everyone knows, heard the brands, because we want to find formulators that could help us scale and grow. Jamie, you talked about growth mode. You need to have people you can work with that have scaled huge companies, but they worked with us for over a year, and to get they actually told us, like they said, your drink is the best drink on the market. We have a patented prebiotic, a probiotic, a glutathione, there's fiber, there's electrolytes. Like, so you're getting so many benefits, where we've had people say like, oh my gosh, I used to have to take multiple supplements and multiple drinks during the day to get the benefits of this one product. And so I feel like if people feel like, oh, I could just change one thing or just add one thing, I could do that. And then people try it. They're like, oh, I love it. Let me try something else. Or let's pair it with this. And so to be able to have products that are versatile, because and we're gonna be in an RV for the next who knows how long. I have a very small bathroom and a very small kitchen there. And so I'm like, I want to have like I love the body oil I cannot live with. It's my eye makeup remover, it's my hair oil, it's my shave oil, it's everything. But it's been I feel like we want to make things feel approachable, and not that you have to go buy this, you have to change everything in your life and buy this whole new set.
I love that. And we're all agreeing. We're like, I love the multifunction, the multi-purpose of everything. Yeah, the gender neutral piece of it. I love that even the bar of soap has adaptogens in it. So like it just everything's so cleverly designed, and it's all very impressive. It's really modern and elevated and luxurious. And so it feels fun to share it. It's pretty, I love you. I think our first time we chatted, you're like, we were talking about how pretty the cleaning bottles were. Like, which is kind of, it's nice to have an aesthetic there. And part of the way you've designed the company to be a modern approach to network marketing, you call it Affiliate Plus. I don't know if you want to speak to that, or if this would be a good time to pivot to Amanda, but I think that speaks to a lot of us that come from or have been a part in some way. There's a customer, as just of network marketing in the past, to know that it has that there's a different approach to this, that it is modernized intentionally.
Yes, and maybe this is a good time to bring in Amanda, because Amanda, I'd love for you to talk about your background, because she was this badass businesswoman, and she still is, but she also went and grew teams and became some top performer at 2 different companies. But it was really as challenging, and I think the whole thing with our business is we looked at life and said, why does life have to be this way? Why do we have to have these results and these illnesses and this? Why is it like this? And we said, let's change it. Let's challenge it. And then what does that solution look like? And so we did not say, hey, we're setting off to launch a direct sales company in this space. But we said, no, what's the best way? What's the fastest way? What's the most, like, how can we create the most content and education? And like, what is that way? And so we kind of worked backwards, trying to find that. And then we were so fortunate to meet Amanda years ago. Was it 4 years almost now?
Almost 4 years. I can't believe it.
But I would love, and I apologize, guys. I'm still packing, and we were supposed to be gone yesterday, and we're still here. So I need to jump off. But you were in
Pick
very,
up.
very good hands with Amanda. I can't say enough good things about her. Anybody, you'll be lucky to work with this amazing woman.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all.
Sarah. Well,
Um,
go ahead, Amanda.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to pick up. Sarah and I would say this is an exaggeration, but it's not. We probably talk 20 times a day, every single day for 4 years. So it is not uncommon that I can finish her sentences and she can finish mine. And that's just how we do things. And I'll give you my quick Reader's Digest version. I did, gosh, it's almost been 4 years now. My big professional background, I was in banking. I worked for JP Morgan Chase for nearly 14 years. I was always in learning and development and adult learning theory and things of that nature. And while I was there, I had a friend introduce me to a social selling company. And I said, no, I don't do that. I don't do those things. I work at the bank. And very long story short, I said I would give it a try. I actually enrolled as a rep. I didn't even buy a kit because I was not committed. And very long story short, I loved it. And I became the top 2 income earner in the company. And I grew a huge team and I loved it so much. And it became something I didn't really, I didn't really know it was real until it happened to me, until I was the one going on the trips and the paychecks and things like that. So the company ultimately was going to go out of business, and I ended up going to another company. I brought my team and did all the things, and I absolutely loved what I was doing. And I moved up that comp plan very quickly. And then I was approached by Avon. You guys know, like the lipstick bullets and the brochures and things. I know you all know that. But Avon recruited me corporately to come work for their home office, and they were looking to kind of make Avon cool again. So I ended up taking that corporate job and did that for 3 years. I live in Arizona, but I commuted to New York every week for about 3 years and loved the job. So it was all about, helping the field and building teams and really navigating those pieces, all being on the corporate side. And then one day I got a call from a recruiter that said, hey, we've got this, new company. You want to take the call? And I was like, I've got a great job. I mean, I'll take the call. And it was one day on a Zoom with Sarah and Ben, and I hung up the phone. And after a couple of hours, I went and told my husband, I said, I think I'm going to get a new job. And he said, what do you mean? You were just taking this call because you never say no to a phone call. I was like, I know. I wasn't thinking I was getting a new job, but after hearing what they, and again, this was pre-product, this was pre-anything. I said, I can't not be a part of what they want to do. And I talked to them the next week, and I've never looked back. So I came to work for them before product. It was right before COVID. I had never even met them in person because the world shut down about 5 minutes later. But kind of what Sarah was talking about was, that we are very much a mission-based company. And, while the network marketing piece came in as the way that we were going to talk about the product, it also gave us a way to say, we want to do things in the best way possible. And we love doing the things that Brownie Weiss did that were tried and true, but how can we keep that modern and look forward? And it's great. Sarah and Ben are wildly savvy business people, but they don't know what they don't know when it comes to direct selling. And so they hired a team of experts, including myself and not only some of our leaders, but our sales team, and really constructed this dynamic team to take all the things that are really cool and awesome and work really well, and then take out those pain points. Because if you think about it, you're like, oh, everything I've been doing is great, but I wish we didn't do this, or I wish this wasn't the case. And those are the things you can do. So for the last 4 years, we've been building something really dynamic together, and it's fun. It's exciting, and I'm really, really blessed to be a part of it. So, thinking about the team and thinking about all of the things that we're doing, I know that, a big part of this call that we're on right now is, why looking at the business opportunity and what is out there. So there are a couple of things, and I'll rattle them off. Please feel free to either take notes, and you can always talk to Jamie afterward, or whoever invited you. They have all got access to me, or drop it in the chat. But at our core, We are a company that is selling products that are looking to help solve problems. Sometimes these are problems that people know that they have by way of, again, anxiety, depression, or things of that nature. And sometimes they're not. When I first met Sarah and Ben, and a big part of that story was the infertility struggle. And that was something I'd never experienced, right? It wasn't something that had happened to me. But in the conversations, when I started talking to people, you start to realize that your hormones affect virtually everything that goes on. So everybody has that story. So, looking to solve some of those problems. So we are looking to provide those solutions, and we do that by way of products. So we look at products that go on, in, and around your body, with skincare products, wellness products that you ingest. And then even, I think, Jamie, you mentioned it, kind of going around your body with cleaning products, or we just launched our textile line with like a robe and an eye mask, things that are touching your skin. So from a business opportunity perspective, you have the opportunity to sell to customers. And when you sell to customers, you make a commission. So you make a 25% commission on everything that you sell. You will get your own personal website. So hughandgrace.com/Amanda, or whatever you want it to be. And you sell those products to customers. You can share socially, you can share in person, or any of those tried and true ways. We've got a handful of programs that are available to your customers. So we've got things like our customer referral program. Keeping things nice and simple. When you have a customer, if they refer or share their referral link with another customer, their customer gets $10 off of an order. They get $10 in product credit, and you get full commission. So always looking for and again, simple ways. It's nothing, not very complicated. It's simply sharing a link, just like you see all over social media or via text today. We've also got some programs for your loyal customers. So think about like your VIP customers. We call them our HG Insiders. So these are customers who have products on subscription, every 30 or 60 days. And they get discounts. They get 10% off of any of their subscription products. They also earn points. So you earn points for every single dollar that you spend. And then you can redeem those for product credit and use it for future purchases, or maybe new products or promotions or limited edition sets and things that come out. So you've got some really incredible tools for you as well as your customers. All of your customers have a full account that they can log into. So you can log in, they can look at their product credits, they can edit subscriptions, they've got full control over all of their accounts. And you also have that same control. So you can go in and actually impersonate a customer, and you can check on their status. You can help them with orders. So if you have that person who maybe didn't place the order, or they just haven't found the time, you've got full capabilities into being able to do that. There are a couple of other ways to join as an advocate, or excuse me, to join the mission, and it could be as an advocate. So Sarah talked a little bit about our community, and our community is made up of all of our customers, our advocates. We've also got a couple of different programs that do set us apart when we think about modernizing what we've set out to do. So we do have our advocate model, which is where you are a representative of the company. So you would sell to customers, you might enroll other advocates onto your team, and you will build and run that business. We'll talk about that one in a second. But we do have some other arms. We do have an affiliate program. So somebody who just wants to simply share product, they can get their own personalized link. They get their own personal promo code. So you could have Amanda 10. And maybe they just want to share product, and that's all that they want to do. So you can actually bring affiliates onto your team, and you earn bonuses based on what they share and sell. Our affiliates all make a 20% commission, which is beyond what a standard affiliate would make. If I think about, the influencers that are out there, a lot of the times they make maybe 6, 8, 10, maybe a really huge influencer, 15 or a little bit more percent, but every one of our affiliates makes 20%. And we also have the opportunity to bring on retail locations. So something like a hair salon or an esthetician, or maybe a small boutique. This is something that it's a little different when you think about social selling and where we're placing our products. So this was, like Sarah mentioned, We've been approached, don't get me wrong. We've been approached to put our products on store shelves, but we know that our products are best talked about word of mouth. And, we know that you've got relationships with some of these different types of retailers. So you can actually enroll retailers directly onto your team, and they count for all of your volumes, and you get bonuses on their volume as well. And all of our retailers get a 30% wholesale discount. So lots of different programs where you can really diversify your team into team builders like yourself. You can bring on affiliates and influencers who just want to socially share and sell. You can bring on retailers who have a traditional brick and mortar store. And then, of course, you have your customers who are using and sharing your products with their network and earning those product credits. So there are so many different ways to become part of the community, and so many different ways that you have the opportunity to structure and diversify in order to meet your income goals or your personal goals or your team goals. For wholesale minimums, there is an initial wholesale buy-in. It varies from about $400 to $800, and then any subsequent order, there is no minimum. So you don't have to do a huge $5,000 order or anything like that. Really good question. And retailers do not have to keep stock of products, so it's totally up to them. We have some retailers who will, they're a small, have you guys ever heard of those? It's like they're salon suites where it's a big building, but you just rent like a certain, like one room, and maybe you just have that one room. So it's kind of like an independent person, and they have a small little sampling of products. Or maybe they only want to sell a particular product. We have some retailers who only want to sell skincare, or some who only want to sell collagen. So there, you do not have to keep a stock. You can use your own business as your benchmark. Now for our advocates, oh, perfect, there you go. Hairstyle is a perfect example. And the collagen is great. Collagen is probably our best seller for hairstylists. It's the #1 talked about product. I don't know if you've ever heard of like a Salon HQ. We just partnered with them. And so Salon HQ, all of their stylists will be partnered up with our collagen as well. But as an advocate, again, I think most of you on this call have had some experience in social selling, might be considering looking at, the business opportunity. But as an advocate, you have the opportunity to make that commission on any of the products that you share and sell, but also when you build a team. So you will earn bonuses based on the performance of those that you bring on. And you earn each of those bonuses every single week. So we pay out every single week for your personal sales. And then we pay a big monthly bonus based on everything that happens on your team. Now, depending on, I don't know what companies you guys are from, but some companies do a little bit different, but ours is basically a monthly pay schedule, but you get those personal sales every single week. We've got some awesome programs for advocates. One of the things about Sara Jensen, if you didn't learn in the first 30 minutes, is she loves experiences. And the way that we love to reward and share and interact with our advocates are things like our incentive trip, which again, this spring is at Maui, at Grand Wailea. We're going to Scottsdale, my hometown, so I'm very excited about being here this year. But we love to do trips. We love to go to different places where, for example, our leadership retreat is not going to be held in a Marriott conference room. You are not going to find that at Hugh and Grace. We are in this, if any of you have been to Scottsdale, let me know in the chat. We are going to be in the heart of Paradise Valley, right at the base of Camelback Mountain, in this insane luxury mansion Airbnb, which is so crazy. I think it sleeps almost 20 people. This place is huge. And that's where we'll host all of our top leaders. And that's where we'll come together as a team and talk and strategize and learn and figure things out. So it's all about that experience. And I almost just tipped off one of the surprises we had, but I forgot that some of you on this call have already earned the trip, and I didn't want to spoil it. So we look at lots of different incentives. The suite night that Sara talked about at the Minnesota Twins, I went last summer, and she mentioned it. You can't buy the experience. It's something you just simply cannot do unless you are the owner of the team, which is incredible. We do lots of different things for our advocates. So monthly, we will typically have different kinds of incentives where you can earn points or cash bonuses. we are launching some incredible incentives on the 1st of January. I mean, beyond incredible. One of them being a leadership pool. So we've got it's kind of like I don't want to say it's a profit sharing, but kind of like a profit sharing where we take all of the company profits and sales and we divvy that out into shares. So when you meet rank, and every single person can play. So we're launching that on January 1st, and we're super stoked for it. We're launching a growth and consistency bonus, which is a rank-based bonus. So when you achieve a rank and you consistently achieve it, you can earn cash every single month. We're upgrading our compensation plan. So we've made a couple of comp plan updates. We always analyze. We're always looking at our comp plan. We've made changes the last 3 years, and they've all been better. Every single one has put more money in your pocket, and this one on January 1st is going to put more money in your pocket. The more that you sell, the more commission you're going to earn. So on top of that 25%, you have the ability to earn up to 40% commissions on everything that you sell starting Jan 1. And that is huge. That is a huge, huge upgrade to our compensation plan, which is incredible. So we've got those that are all rolling. We've got another fun bonus, which I'm not going to say because that one is a surprise for January 1st, but another Q1 business incentive that's really going to help you kick off the months or the first quarter strong. Every advocate who comes into play can take advantage of our Boost program. And this is kind of like it's kind of like a fast start or a quick start if you've been in another company, where your first few months that you come in as an advocate, oftentimes you hit up your hot network, right? You're going to talk to your friends and your relatives and the people who are going to support you. And we're going to reward you for every single one of those people to really get your business up and going. Especially if you're going to transition or migrate from another business. It's not overnight. It just doesn't happen one day and you lift and shift. It takes a little bit of time to structure that. And we understand that. So you actually get 3 full months of this Boost program to make sure you have that proper time to transition and learn and understand and really become part of our community until you get into that full swing of things. What am I missing, Jamie? So we've got Boost, we've got compensation, so many different tools available to you.
Yep. Well, in the new year, there's product credits for advocates as well, right?
Correct. Yeah. So that'll be part of the growth and consistency where you can earn product credit toward things that you can use to build your business or your own products. Yeah, that's something brand new we're introducing.
Monthly, there's no business fee, just but will you talk about what the enrollment fee and renewal?
Sure. So to enroll as an advocate, it's $45. So it's just a $45 fee to enroll. And that's really for technology. I mean, it takes, you get that for the year. At the time you enroll, you can opt to select a business enrollment set. And we've got, I think, 5 of them that are all set, and it's our deepest discount. So if you want product, that is the time to do it. You want to buy the enrollment set at the time you enroll. You don't have to, it's not required, but if you want the best discount, do it at the time you enroll. So you can they range from, I don't know, $140 up to $500, depending on what products you want. But yeah, they are by far the best bundles when you enroll, and you get volume on them. So it's a great way to help build your business. And then every year there is an annual fee of $25 that's charged to your account on your anniversary date. So it's $25 annually, but there's nothing monthly. There's no website fee or anything like that that you have to pay for. And then to enroll as an affiliate, there is no cost to enroll as an affiliate. So you can simply just enroll. And then if I saw the question earlier, if you ever wanted to change from an affiliate to an advocate, maybe you start talking about the product and you get some interest, you can absolutely upgrade. You just have to pay the fee and get your set. Or same thing, you can always switch from advocate to retailer. Sometimes retailers want to become advocates. That's perfectly okay. So we can always take care of you if you want to change your status, depending on how your business is going.
And I think that speaks to one of the things I wanted to say and just give you kudos, Amanda. You and your team are just so present and really work overtime to make sure that we're supported. If there's an issue, there's a quick, easy submit a ticket button or an email, but you and your team are always so incredibly responsive, and the turnaround is so fast. Or even if it's like, hey, this report would be really great, and lo and behold, like a week later, oh, we can do that report all of a sudden. It's just, yeah, like Amy's saying in the chat, a true collaboration and partnership. And from day one, it doesn't matter, like, you came, you're who you are in rank or whatever. It's like Kelly McVeigh, the senior director of sales, like, she calls every single advocate to welcome them on
Yes.
board to the company. Like, from day one, everyone feels seen, valued, like partnered with. And it's a top down from Sarah, Ben, and you have created this amazing community, and it's present in everything we've talked about, and even then some. I know we have to like be cognizant of time, and everyone's stuck around for an hour now, but there's so much more we can even say. And
I know, I feel like we've just scratched it. No, but I love what you
I
say.
know.
And really, I hope that comes through. And I know that I've talked to some of you more than others, but it is. I mean, we are a family here. And everybody on our corporate team, we are here because we believe in what we're doing. We are passionate about what we're doing. And it is. I mean, I think one of Amy's on here, one of her first requests was, hey, in the back office, could we get another link for retailer? And I was like, yeah, we could do that. Makes sense, So we're always looking at, expertise and things that would make your job easier, because then it makes my job easier. So we've got the ability, I sit here all day, every day. I'll call this like the command center. And if it's something we can do, like, why not? Why go through all the red tape and things like that from like a traditional, again, I worked at huge companies, and there were so many roadblocks for, I don't know, it seemed like just roadblocks for the sake of roadblocks. Like,
Yeah.
that's what we've always done. That is so not how we do things, because it's just not who we are. If it makes business sense, if it's something we can do, then let's do it, or let's put it on our roadmap and see how it works. And that's what we love to do. It's how we operate. And I think, Jamie, you've seen that 1,000 times so far. And yeah, if we're building something great, then let's give you the tools to do it.
And I think because of that, there's a place to win every step of the way, like from day one, from whatever your goals are, whatever your ambitions are with this company, like, it's winnable. From the customer referral, my mom, when I told my mom about the customer referral program, who never in a decade of me doing my other business, she had any interest in sharing her link or a link or my link with anyone. She's like, wait, I just send this link and I get free products. And she's like, I just sent it to my whole second grade teaching team. So like, from every level, there's a place to win and just have fun and be excited about sharing this mission. And so if you have questions, put them in the chat. I think that we touched on all the big stuff. I know everyone was invited here by someone different. So please reach out to them on whatever follow-up deeper questions you have, what you're most excited about, the link to enroll. It is $45 to enroll normally, but right now it's $20.23. So it's pretty base, over half off, to celebrate the start of a new year and the end of it, a really amazing year. Oh yeah, with the code enroll 2020.
Yeah, put the promo code in and you'll get the discount off of it for the end of 2023, which is great.
Yeah. Is there any burning questions before we have affiliates pay enrollment too? Nope, no enrollment for affiliate. They earn 20% commission and they cannot.
That's right. So affiliates earn a 20% commission. Now, affiliates cannot build a team. So affiliates are just single level. You just share and sell and earn a personal sales. You can't enroll anybody under you. So you wouldn't be eligible for bonuses. Affiliates and retailers, I should say, cannot enroll underneath them. And affiliates and retailers don't do bonuses. They're not on incentive trips, things of that nature. So that's just sharing and selling like an influencer. A retailer is your brick and mortar, like if you're in the salon. An advocate is the one who may or may not, and an advocate doesn't have to enroll somebody, but an advocate might want to be a super seller, but also go to Maui. So in that case, you'd want to be an advocate because you're eligible for different incentives and promotions that we have. But affiliates and retailers just strictly sell, and that's all. Really good question.
Mm-hmm. And there's and I'm happy to, any of us are happy to dig into the comp plan at a glance in more detail, but you can, if you look at that, you'll see you can actually move to the first 3 rank advancements without even building a team. Like you can do a lot on this comp plan just by selling, which is also a really nice modern breath of fresh air too. So
Yeah.
okay, these are great questions. Could a retailer sign up their business and then also
Yes.
be an advocate? Yes. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, of
There's so
course you
many
can do
different ways. All of these are yeses.
They're all yeses. Everything, everything's basically everything's a yes. Yeah, an advocate can have a retailer as a customer for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. You look beautiful tonight, by the way.
Thank you. I
And
feel like it's dark and I've got my monitor light. I was like,
yeah,
this is
your
great.
eyes are like glowing blue. And thank you everyone for giving an hour of your time on this, cozy week. We're gonna do this again on Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. East Coast time. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I wish my sister had seen this, or I wish my husband had seen this, or I wish my, my business partner had seen this, like we're doing this again in a couple days. So same link. I just said the times, or just reach out, and we're just so glad that you're giving this a listen and a consideration, because we really would love to welcome you to our space. And have a great rest of your night. Thank you.
Thank you guys.